G'day, hey gang, Steve from Steve Barker Leadership, just jumping on to share with you another insight around human behavior. So, what I want to talk with you about today is the comfort zone. I want to talk about the myth that causes long term damage. Because very often, these are the sort of images that we are confronted with that are constantly telling us to get out of the comfort zone. Yeah, we see here, life starts outside the comfort zone. Get outside your comfort zone. Your comfort zone. This is where the magic happens. Yes, there is a certain amount of truth in this, that there is no growth within the comfort zone. But what I want to share with you is a different perspective to getting out of the comfort zone. Because what I've experienced, and I've experienced this over and over again, particularly through my goal setting program that I run, is that a lot of people will get outside the comfort zone. They'll have a very bad experience, and then they refuse to go out the comfort zone again. And here is why. If we can start to understand the human behavior, if we can understand the patterns of human behavior that lie behind the comfort zone and the concept of it, then what we can start to do is tweak it, to fine tune it, to meet our specific needs, because we're all as unique as the fingerprint on the end of our finger, which means that what strategy may work for one person may not work for another. And like I say, this is something that I've started to recognize with my clients. We all seem to follow the same pattern of behavior. And let me share with you what it is. So let's unpack the comfort zone. Let's look at it. Let's start to break it down into its component parts. Now, one of the major elements that we need to be able to be aware of with regards to the comfort zone is the relationship that we have with our inner child. Now, if you follow me, you'll know that I do a lot of work around the inner child. And what we start to recognize is that the inner child, which is this little fella down here, which is our subconscious, this is the part of our being that enables us to choose goals. It inspires us. This is like any 5-year-old would be. Our inner child is 5 years old. They have all of the wisdom, they have all of the knowledge, they have all of the information that we as adults have. However, what they don't have are the filters that adults have, the fear, the judgment, the worry of getting things wrong, the fear of being judged. So, what we start to see is that the inner child is responsible for all of the inspiration, all of the ideas. Now, over the years, what's happened is there's been a disconnect between the inner child and the grown adult. Now, we all have an inner child within us. And very often, one of the ways that I talk about the inner child is that it's our subconscious. It's our subconscious mind. It's our gut instinct. And what the adult brain is, what the adult version up here is, this is our adult brain. This is the conscious. This is the conscious mind that tells us that we should do things or we shouldn't do things. It regulates us. It's kind of the filter between our inner child, ourselves, and the outside world. Now, what's happened a lot, and this is the pattern that I'm talking about, is that what I'm finding is people, when they get outside their comfort zone, it's really, really scary. And what we start to do is we scare the bejesus out of the little inner child. And very often, when we're outside the comfort zone, the big brain's going, "It's okay, I've got this. Don't you worry, little man. We're all right." And then it goes wrong. Now, this then triggers the result of us running and screaming and hiding back into our comfort zone. But even more than this, and this is where the key is, we lose the trust between our subconscious and our conscious. We lose the trust between our inner child mind and our adult mind. And this is what erodes people's ability to try new things. Because when we've been out of the comfort zone a few times and we've been caught and it's scary, we start to realize that it's not nice out there. It's not safe. So what do? We stay inside our comfort zone. We don't grow. We don't connect. Our inner child becomes even more disconnected from our adult brain because basically the inner child now doesn't trust the adult brain. So the inner child starts coming up with ideas. It basically just goes off and sulks like a 5-year-old does when they don't get their own way. Now, what I want to be able to do is to share this with regards to the concept of the comfort zone and how we can change this. So Here's a little example. This is a little cartoon that I found, but this pretty much sums up sometimes how it is when we get outside the comfort zone. So we're in the comfort zone, we're feeling brave, we've got an idea, and it's like, all right, 1, 2, 3, go. And we run outside the comfort zone, we're like, ah! And we do the thing, and then we're like, poof, ah! And we run back into the comfort zone, and we dive back in, and we're like, whew, whew, that's it. That's all I'm going to do today. Now imagine, if you relate to this, you'll know what I'm talking about. I've done this loads of times myself. But imagine if somewhere out here in this doing the thing, it all goes horribly wrong and we're abandoned and we have to find our way back to our comfort zone. It's exhausting. And it's not surprising that when we've done this a few times, we start to think, why am I going outside my comfort zone? This is too much like hard work. This is very difficult. This is dangerous. This is scary. I don't like it. Especially our inner child. Our inner child goes, ooh, what are you doing? Why are we even thinking of going out there again? It's full of nastiness. Let's not do it. So we start to stay in our comfort zone. And this is where we start to become stuck. This is where we get stuck within our mindset. And this is where these bad patterns of behavior start to come in. Procrastination is one of them. Below the line thinking, not challenging ourselves, thinking that we're not good enough. It erodes our self-worth and our self-confidence. So, what I would like to propose is a different way of looking at the comfort zone. What I would like to propose is that our comfort zone is like a balloon. Now, if we were to follow this procedure, this would be like sticking an air compressor on our balloon and it's suddenly going whoosh, and then going poof, bang. Because that's kind of what happens. We try to do too much too soon, too quick. We become over-ambitious and we fail. However, if we were to blow up a balloon nice and slowly, gently, allowing our warm air from our body to warm the rubber, the balloon can get really quite big. And if we keep blowing in gently, we're going to get much bigger than we would do normally. So this is the concept, this is the twist that I would like to share with you, that I've shared with so many of my clients, which has empowered them to be able to go out there and start to grow, start to reconnect between the adult brain and our inner child brain, to reconnect our conscious brain with our subconscious, to reconnect ourselves with our gut instinct, because that's what we want to be following if we want to be able to grow and develop. So this is the concept. Here we are. This is our comfort zone down here. Yes, what we want to start looking at is expanding our comfort zone rather than getting out of it. And what I suggest is that we start getting some runs on the board. Now, if we were to grow by 1%, if we were to challenge ourselves by 1%, and I know it doesn't sound much, but you imagine if you were to grow by 1% every day for a whole year, and we're not going to get into the compound interest on this because I'm rubbish at maths. Let's just keep it simple. If we were to grow by 1% every day for the rest of the year, we would be 366% better than we were at the start of the year. Now, that's not a bad return on investment, I don't think. And how difficult is it to improve by 1%? It's really not that difficult, because all we have to do is find one thing and enhance it. So, this is the concept. We want to be able to expand our bubble. Remember, this is that balloon slowly expanding. We are not sticking our balloon on an air compressor, bang, yeah, because that's where we feel left out on the edge of the comfort zone. We have to come screaming back in again. What we want to be able to do is grow our comfort zone. So our first challenge is going to help us get the runs on the board. Now, I know it sounds really easy because it is easy, and there's a 99% chance of success. That's what we want. Remember, we got to rebuild the trust between our adult brain and our inner child, our conscious mind. Blimey, I get those two words muddled up. Our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. We want to be able to grow the relationship. So got to start getting the runs on the board. Then this becomes our new comfort zone. All of a sudden, all of this area is now our comfort zone. We're 1% bigger than we were the day before. Then we go again. However, this time we're feeling a little bit more brave. So we can grow our comfort zone by 2%. because we've got the runs on the board, because we've got the experience. We feel good about it. We're like, yeah, if I can do 1%, I can do 2%. And guess what? That then becomes our new comfort zone. Now, when we start this process, don't go off going 1% one day, 2% next day, 10% the next day, 20% the next, because you're just going to be like putting your balloon on the air compressor and it's going to go. We've got to build the muscle. So perhaps we just stick at 2% and we can stay at 2% until we feel really comfortable with it, until we're really comfortable within our new comfort zone. Now, all of the time, we're just on the edge here. We're on the edge of the comfort zone. And that's perfectly cool. That's where we want to be. This is the concept that I'm suggesting that we do. Rather than get outside the comfort zone, rather than be out here, where the magic happens, we want to grow our comfort zone so that eventually we have evolved to the point where we encompass where the magic happens. But we want to be on the edge of the comfort zone. We don't want to be sitting in the middle of it, watching Netflix and eating a bar of chocolate. That really is the comfort zone. We want to be out on the edge. We just want to be on the edge of our comfort zone. And then we might grow again. We might challenge ourselves and go 5%. Now imagine if we're out here on the edge of the 5% bubble and it bursts and it goes bang. How much further then do we have to come back into our comfort zone? It's not that far, is it? Whereas if we were out here and our original comfort zone's back here, look how much distance we got to cover. And that's where it becomes scary. So again, if we're just on the outside of our comfort zone, we're there pushing the envelope, challenging ourselves, then if it bursts and it all goes horribly wrong, we can come back here. And it's not too far. It's not too scary. And again, when we get comfortable with it, this now becomes our new comfort zone. Look how big our comfort zone has got. And this is the principle. We can keep going. So this is where we are at the moment. This is the 5%. Look how big our comfort zone's already got. Imagine then if we were to grow by 8% or even up to 10%. And I wouldn't recommend going any higher than this because 10% is really stretching the bubble. Yeah. What we want to be able to do is create sustainable, consistent growth. And this is my concept behind the comfort zone. And some days we might just go 1% because we might be drained, we might be tired. That's okay, as long as we're pushing the envelope. Imagine if you were out here and you just did it by 1%, it would be that much. It's not that much, it's fine. But we might be going gangbusters. We might say, hey, okay, yeah, I feel full of energy today. I feel up for this challenge. I'm gonna push it out to 10%. And if we achieve it, bingo. We started to encompass all of this territory as our new comfort zone. And this is what I share with my clients. This is what I think the comfort zone's all about. It's about little steps. It's about learning as we go along. It's about making mistakes because guess what? These bubbles are going to burst because that's life. That's how things happen. We've got to be realistic. They're going to burst. But if we're only just out here on the edge of our comfort zone, we only got to come back here. It's going to be much easier than pushing ourselves all the way out here and then it bursting and us having to run all the way back to the comfort zone here. Because it's this run back that scares the living bejesus out of us. It's this run back that stops us from becoming the people we want to become. And it's down to this belief that we have to get outside the comfort zone to grow. It's scary outside the comfort zone. That's why the comfort zone is called the comfort zone. Yeah? The growth zone is a scary place, but it's where we need to be. It's where we want to be if we're going to grow and develop. But being able to do this in a resourceful, sustainable way, we can slowly expand our comfort zone. Now, how do we know that this is true? Well, let me give you a real life example. This young fella here is learning how to walk. Now, when he was first learning how to walk, he had to build the muscles in his legs to be able to do it. So he would stand up, he would pull himself up on a bit of furniture, and he'd stand there. And he'd be doing his Elvis Presley impression with his legs going all over the place and ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Ultimately, his legs aren't strong enough. He falls back down again. Okay, where is he? He's about here. And he falls down and he's in his comfort zone. But what do we do as adults? What do adults do when they see a toddler learning how to walk? We encourage them. We say, come on, little fella, you can do it. Have another go. And he looks at us and he's got that big grin on his face and he's like, hey, I'm getting validation. I'm getting significance. I'm getting connection. I'm getting told that I can do this. Well, guess what's happening? He's learning about the comfort zone. Do we ever, as adults, actually turn around to a toddler who's learning how to walk and say, "Hey, little Johnny, you're shit at that. You're no good at walking. Just stay crawling, mate"? No, we don't. We encourage and we allow the growth. We expect there's going to be mistakes. We expect there's going to be tears. We expect that there's maybe going to be a bit of pain, possibly as he falls over and bangs his head or catches his chin on the coffee table as he falls off. This is what happens. Growth and learning is difficult and sometimes painful, but we've all been through it. So, what I want you to think about is this concept of growth, because that's what we've been doing ever since we were little people. This is how we've been growing. It's only these gung ho fools that say, "Get out of your comfort zone," that cause the damage, that stop people from growing because they get out of their comfort zone. They're all the way out here and it goes horribly wrong, and bingo! The bubble bursts and we got to come running back in. Whereas if we'd built up to this and we were out here, let's say we were on the edge of the 10% and the bubble burst, we've only got to go back to 8% because this is our new comfort zone, because we've grown and we've developed this. So this is the thinking behind it. We've already been doing it the majority of our lives. It's just that as adults, we start to get impatient. We start to want to do more. We want to get more with less effort. It doesn't work like that. We have to go back to basics. And this is why I've decided that I wanted to share with you my understanding of the comfort zone, because it's helped so many of my clients. It's helped me so much. I used to be one of these people who tried to get out of the comfort zone, and guess what? It didn't work. Since I've been using this new perspective, my growth has been continuous. It's been slow, but it's been continuous. My business grew 28.5% last year. Why? Because I've been using the comfort zone. Initially, my business only grew by 2%. I'm 5 years in, it's now 28.5% because my comfort zone has expanded. I'm now able to challenge myself to grow even more. So, this is what I wanted to share with you. I would love to hear your thoughts, your feedback, your insights. What do you do around the comfort zone? What's your understanding of the comfort zone? Let's start a conversation around this. Jump in the comments. Pop your comments down below. Email me or jump on my website. If you're interested in this sort of stuff, if this resonates with you, there's loads more resources on my website. Go and check it out. Or check out the Raw Leadership Facebook page. Sorry, it's a Facebook group now. Check out the Raw Leadership Facebook group on Facebook. Just type it in, Raw Leadership. You'll find it. It's sitting there. All of this information I'm sharing for free. Why? Because it makes a difference. It makes a difference to people's lives. If you can implement this, this will make a difference to your life. So please give me your feedback. Please share with me what your thoughts are around this, how you've experienced this, and how life is going for you. All right. Until we talk again, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're up to, stay safe and enjoy exploring your comfort zone. Toodaloo.